From here, I usually open up Excel 2010. And when you do this part of the demo, you do want to have an Excel document that has already been populated with data. And I do have one. I'll go ahead and select File and open up my sales analysis. So with this sales analysis, you can see that we have a pivot table. We've got some item information. We've also got some sales data. And where I really start off here is showing customers that I have a lot of data. There are over 30,000 lines of data in this particular table. And so this is very hard to sift through. And when we talk to customers, we'll ask them, so customers, if you took a look at this data and you wanted to find everything that was sold underneath, for example, the product category for tires and tubes, how would you normally set that up? And a lot of them that are familiar with Excel may set up some type of pivot table. They may know how to set up tables in general. Or they might say, you know what I normally do? I go ahead and select this first column right here, and I go ahead and sort it. So underneath Sort and Filter, I have the ability to just go ahead and sort this from A to Z. And we'll expand that selection. But now, there's still a lot of data. We still have to scroll through here and look for exactly what we need. You'll also notice now that if you're not familiar with what all the columns are in your table, you may forget what is column C, what is column D, what is column E. So let me go ahead and show you how we can make your life a lot easier. I'm going to hit Control Z to get back to the original way we had this set up. And you'll see that up at the top I've got a product category, customer name, state, country, sales amount, year, and also the quarter. So again, scrolling down right here very quickly, it's kind of hard to tell exactly what's up there at the top. Some expert Excel users may isolate these cells, but we want to do something even better. What I'll do from here is I'll select this first cell and I'll go over to Format as Table and show my customers that in just a couple of clicks, one, and let's pick a nice little color here, I'll go ahead and select blue. Two, this table does have headers, so I'll leave that box checked. And then 3, and instantly I now have a table that I can work with. What's great about it now is when I'm scrolling through and looking at all this data, if I go down to that 30,000th line, did you notice that up here at the top, our headers stay in place? What's also great here is now instead of sorting, I can very quickly find out everything that we've sold in the, let's say, fenders department, and boom. Everything that Kim Abercrombie sold, Laura Steele, Moorhezi, Ramon Iyer. And let's go ahead and narrow this down even more and show our customers that we can say, I just want to see everything that Boris has sold. And now we've limited that particular table. So that's pretty powerful stuff. Let's go ahead and show customers what they can do with conditional formatting. So what I'll do here is I'll go to Item Information and talk to them about the fact that look at this table right now. You see that there are some items here that are filled in. And they're probably wondering, what is that? It does make sense though, because depending on how long the bar is, the higher the value. And so what I'll show customers here is that we can take some data and we can apply some easy conditional formatting to them by simply highlighting a column. I'll go back to my Home tab here. And underneath the Home tab, I've got some conditional formatting samples. I can do the same thing with data bars, but I'm going to go ahead and select color scales for now. And in this case, we see color scales, green, yellow, red. So the deeper the green, the higher the number. You can see how easy that was to set up. Maybe we want to do it the opposite way and say that the lower the number, the greener it is. So I'll go to Conditional Formatting, Color Scales, and flip this very quickly. And you can see there that we now have conditional formatting set in place. I can see that my lowest number is the deepest color of green, which is 499. And my highest number, which we've set to be red, is 209. But let's say we've made a mistake. And that 209.99 is really only supposed to be $2.99. Notice there that the conditional formatting changes instantly. And what's important to note here is that when customers are making quick business decisions, they can go ahead and take a look at these color scales and be able to make those decisions without having to sift through every single number. One of the new things that we've built into Excel 2010 are things that we call sparklines. With sparklines, I can insert mini graphs into a single cell. So take a look at this. We've got different prices from January to February to March, April, May, June, and July. And you can see that we do have some color bars here, and that makes it a little bit easier to discern. But I'm going to go ahead and select this first column right here, this row of data, and I'm going to insert it into this cell, creating a spark line. Let me select that cell. We're going to go to Insert, and then we're going to insert a line underneath spark lines. It's going to ask me for a data range. I will select this row of data here, and we'll hit OK. It's going into that cell that I just selected. And very instantly, I can tell that branded hat for men, that is trending upwards. And I can simply drag and drop this down here, and I can get the same type of information for all of my different products. Now the next product I typically demo is PowerPoint 2010. We usually get a lot of oohs and ahs out of this part of the presentation because it's pretty dynamic, pretty colorful, lots of graphics here and there, and I think that this is going to be pretty powerful for your customers as well. You know, a lot of customers are afraid of PowerPoint, or if they do create a PowerPoint document, it doesn't look very compelling. They may know how to change fonts, maybe add in some pictures, but there are a lot of things that you can do with PowerPoint that many users are not familiar with. And we want to make them experts. We want to make them feel like graphic designers without having gone to graphic design school. So let's go ahead and start off here by inserting a title. And we'll call this the TS2 Demo Slideshow. And we'll say that this is by JJ. And we'll insert some other slides after this. So I'll go to New Slide here. I will insert a title and content. First thing we want to do here is we want to actually create a list of items, and specifically a cycle. So I'm going to call this a demo cycle. And typically in the cycle we have to set up this demo first. Then we talk about product A. We then go into product B. We talk a little bit about product C. And then we have to reset this demo so we can be ready for our next round of customers. After this, we will go ahead and create a new slide again. And I'll go ahead and create a title and content slide. And let's go ahead and use my little puppy one more time. And we're going to add him in here by selecting that picture icon. And there you can see there's little Barkley. Now, this slide looks pretty good. We can make it look a little bit better. And so what customers can start doing is they can go ahead and change the color of that. Maybe they can change the font. Maybe they want to increase the size of the font in the case of this presentation. But this is still a boring looking slideshow. So what they're going to want to do here is say, how can we make this look better? And the first thing we can do is go to the Design tab. Under the Design tab, if I select any one of these different templates, you can see that without even selecting one permanently, I can get a quick preview of what this deck is going to look like. Got a lot of different options here. And so let's say we go ahead and select this flow. You'll see that everything underneath it changes as well. But we still want to make this look even better. And since we're working on a demo cycle, what I like to show customers here is what SmartArt is all about. If I now highlight this list of data and right-click on it, I have the option to convert this list into SmartArt. A lot of different options here, but since this is a cycle, let's go ahead and select the cycle SmartArt. When I select that basic cycle, I can see that I've instantly created some new graphics. This would take you a whole lot of time if you weren't using a version of Office like Office 2010. I can change some of the styles here, so I can give it a little bit of a border. Maybe we can shade it. I typically like these 3D ones where you have kind of a mirror effect or a shadow effect. This one's my favorite though. And so I typically select this one. I'll go to change colors and show them that with just a couple of clicks I can select these different color schemes, and we'll go ahead and select this one right here, and we've got a great looking document. Now from here I can say, well, maybe you don't like circles, perhaps you like rectangles. With just a few clicks I can show them different rectangles, different types of shapes that they're able to use. Maybe even a pie chart if they're interested in setting a cycle up like that. Let's go back to our circles here. And what I'll do is also show them animations. So what we'll do here is we'll go ahead and select the Animations tab. And you can see that I have a number of different options, and they are pretty visual here as well. If I select, for example, Fly In, I get a quick preview of how that flies in. Perhaps I want it to fade in. Just highlighting each of these will show you what these effects are like. So let's go ahead and select Float In for now. You'll see that everything is coming up as one object. If I select Effect Options, you can see that I can very simply select one by one, and I've created a great looking animation with just a couple of click steps. Let's go ahead and take a look at the puppy slide now. If I select the puppy slide, you can see that it looks okay, but I'd really like to make it look a lot better. And what that really means is making that picture look even better. So if I select that puppy, you'll notice that up here we do have that contextual tab that pops up again. We can animate this if we'd like, maybe have it fly in, maybe have it float in just like we had it earlier with the cycle. And let's go ahead and leave it with float in. Pretty easy to do. Let's go ahead and click that puppy slide one more time and select the Format tab. Under Format, I can now change this picture and make it look even better. So for example, I can remove the background with just one click. And we'll decide to keep the changes. I now have that puppy floating without the rest of that background. I can go ahead and add a shadow to that. Maybe I want to do a drop shadow. Maybe I want to add a frame around that puppy. Maybe I want to go ahead and put it into a circle. So pretty easy to do. We can change the colors just like we did earlier. So you see a number of different colors that I can select here. I also have the ability to add those artistic effects that you saw. Let's go ahead and put them in stone right now. But maybe that puppy isn't what we want. It's not giving that visual pizzazz that I'd really like to have. And I think a video would be better suited for this part of the demo. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this puppy. And I'm going to go ahead and select, or insert rather, a video. And here you can see that I have the wildlife video. Go ahead and select that and see that it is now a part of my presentation. What's great about this is this video can be edited just like a picture. So let's go ahead and show you what this video looks like first of all. You've probably seen this video before. Now with this video, I may want to say this looks great in a rectangle shape, but I want to give it another look. I can put it into a frame. You can see there's a frame instantly around the video. I can give it that drop shadow that I like. One of the favorite ones that I like putting it into here is one with tapered corners. And looks pretty good, but this is supposed to be a rustic looking video. So I'll change the color and make it black and white. And so instantly you can see here this video is playing in a black and white format. What I can also do is say that there are only certain parts of this video that I really want to play. I don't want to show everything. So if I go over to the Animations tab here, you can see that I've got Pay, Pause, Stop, Seek. I can also have Start on Click. I can reorder the animation. But I may want to go to the Playback tab, for example, and say that I want to trim this video so only certain parts of the video play. For example, I only want it to play from this part of the video until this part of the video. So think about how powerful this is. I don't have to use a third-party video editing tool. I can simply cut and choose whatever I'd like to have, and now I can save some time without going into another tool.